I really had no idea that so many people out here are faking pregnancies just to keep sleeping with a man.
I don't know what the Lulu and what you were thinking on that, but the way that it looks, I need you to come forward. Really use that monotone, take out them blue contacts, and look at us and answer about that pregnancy, because that was not fair.
If you don't believe me, I literally called her Uber. Here's a screenshot. Everyone wondering why she's not giving her side of the story. It's because it's fucking embarrassing. She's not gonna post her side of the screenshots because all the screenshots are the same, because why the fuck would I fabricate a story like this?
Some wild drama involving TikToker Danisha Carter, aka the robotic lady with the contacts, at least that's what many people online refer to her as, and TikToker Khalil might have popped up on your For You page this week. And if you're completely lost, don't worry, I've got the full breakdown, even if this chaos hasn't hit your feed yet. Trust me, you need to tune in because this tea has everyone absolutely gagged. For starters, Danisha Carter is a TikToker with nearly 2 million followers, known for her commentary on politics and social issues, often sparking discussions among her audience. Now, Danisha has not responded to any of this, but it will be interesting when she does, or if she even does, because her whole vibe is very holier than thou, and unfortunately, this is making her look really bad on social media right now, especially since it's been days and she has yet to say a word or deny the allegations against this alleged victim. This all kicked off when TikToker Khalil, who has around 90,000 followers, dropped a series of videos on February 26, alleging harassment from Danisha Carter. According to Khalil, the two of them connected through the dating app Raya and ended up hooking up, but after that, he claims Danisha became obsessed and he no longer wanted to see her. Khalil also accused Danisha of lying about her identity and harassing him online for months, saying how after he hooked up with her, he later found out she not only lied about her age, but also falsely claimed she was pregnant to coerce him and emotionally manipulate him into seeing her again.
Danisha Carter's been harassing me for the last month and a half. Let's talk about it. Over a month and a half ago, we matched on a dating app and I regretfully hooked up with her. Since then, I realized that she not only lied about her age, but she also lied about being pregnant in an attempt to coerce me and emotionally blackmail me into sleeping with her again. That sounds crazy, but I'll show you all the screenshots. But before I address that, I want to address all these comments that your followers are leaving me. You keep spreading claims that I cheated on my girlfriend with you. Whole time I didn't meet the woman that you're referring to until after we hooked up. So let's not get it twisted. And trust and believe, if I met her first, I would have never spoke to you. Me and Danisha hooked up on the night of January 9th. In the days following that, being a true Angelino, I was volunteering with fire relief efforts. Because I was volunteering, I was not texting back quick enough for Danisha's liking, which led to her being very rude to me through text message. Pause to read. In response to that, I just explained that I was busy, but she kept berating me, so I just left her on read and stopped responding. She messaged me 2 or 3 days later apologizing for what she said, and I still didn't respond. A week or two later, Danisha messaged me saying that we need to talk. We spent over 30 minutes on the phone, in which Danisha refused to disclose what we needed to talk about, and she said that we could only talk about it in person. Remember that for later. I expressed to her since she was rude, I did not feel comfortable coming over to her house, especially because she was saying I needed to come over at around 9, 10, 11 p.m. I told her we could meet at a cafe and talk about it. She refused, so we ended up getting off the phone. Later that day, she messages me saying that I need to send her my address so her attorney could send over paperwork. Remember that for later. Obviously, in response to that, I tell her that we could hop on the phone. Again, we talk for about 30 minutes, in which she refuses to disclose what she wants to talk about, and at the end, she tells me that she's pregnant. At that point, I realized that maybe we do need to talk in person. But because our schedules weren't matching up, we ended up just hopping on FaceTime. Spoke about what the plan was moving forward, because frankly, I don't want to have a child with anyone right now, especially not her. Mind you, all the times that we've spoken so far, she's made an attempt to try to get me to come over to her house to talk about it in person. Conclusion of that phone call, she said that she needs more time to think about it, and honestly, that's fair. 2 or 3 days later, she messages me saying, actually, I'll have my attorney contact you, please send me your address. At that point, I'm like, hey, have your attorney contact me because you're being very weird. Now this is where shit gets juicy.
Khalil didn't stop there though. In a follow-up video, he doubled down on his claims that Danisha lied about being pregnant, even sharing what he said were screenshots of a conversation between Danisha and a friend of hers. And this was apparently what they were saying.
Lawyer slash friend who outed her talking about travel accommodations. But then if you look right here, I don't know how to play this now that I'm not saying I'm pregnant, laugh my ass off. Or screenshot, do I actually tell him I'm pregnant or do I make the reveal that I just him? And her friend tells her that, hey, the reveal is good, but don't overplay your hand. Danisha then says, so don't say I'm pregnant, and her friend says to save it. Then she says, okay, he won't hate me for lying to him just to fuck him? And then her friend responds, he's a man, Danisha. And says, I'm also a man who hates her and a man who has a mother. She said, laugh my fucking ass off. I mean, if some girl is yapping about being pregnant, wouldn't he tell her? Then I'm attacked from all sides. The Compton commie. Let's just overlook the racial undertones of calling me some kind of Compton commie. The whole time I'm not even from fucking Compton, bro. Her friend says, no one tells their man bitch that their side bitch is pregnant. It's like you never listened to confession. Mind you, there was no main, and Danisha could not be a side if her name was Onion Ring. Her friend tells her that by lying to me about being pregnant, I will come over and the emotions will be high, intimacy will be high, we'll lock eyes, and then the end. And then she says, what, do I appear worried or scared? Nervous? He says yes. She says, then I tell him that I went to the doctor and got a blood test for my thyroid and I'm pregnant. And if he doesn't believe it, we pulled out. Sorry, this is so many details. And she's fucking right. This is so many details. I'd rather not have to share this shit, but you keep harassing me, so here you go. Now that we got the screenshots out of the way, let's dive into the next issue. The reason she kept asking for my address to send over attorney paperwork is because she was trying to dox me. Her friend exposed her for trying to fucking dox me in the same Discord server where she's telling everyone that I'm a fucking cheater. The same Discord server where she got another man doxed a few years ago for saying she's a fucking catfish. If you're watching this, Danisha, we hooked up one time. I don't know why you're crashing out over it that fucking bad. On all the dead homies, you're a weirdo. Now please, don't ever contact me again or I will just continue to spill receipts. Thank you.
He also said that this had been going on for over a month. Now, Khalil continued to post several more videos addressing Danisha, and many people took notice of the text message screenshot at the end where Danisha is allegedly saying, taking a nap with no one to cuddle with. And everyone was just like, it's giving desperate as hell. Taking a nap with no one to cuddle with, sad emoji, after being ignored is insane. He left that part in for the plot for real. While Khalil continues to speak about the drama on his TikTok, and mind you, this has been getting tons of views, which is why Danisha's TikTok comments are being flooded with people urging her to address the situation or at least deny the allegations. Danisha has remained radio silent, sticking to her usual politics and social issues content.
If you have learned anything from the Danisha Carter and Khalil situation, is that it looks just as embarrassing to pretend that you don't care and play mind games with people to make it seem like you don't care than it is to just straight up say, hey, can I get some more eggplant on my Parmesan? Like, if she just directly asked for some more Peter and he said no, she should have just taken the L. But because she wanted to be the nonchalant, non-caring person, and she didn't want to make it look like she liked him more than she did, she had to neg him. She negged him first. That was negging, what she did in those comments. And then when the negging didn't work, she had to play mind games to get him back in her life. When all she just could have done was just ask, hey man, do you want to roll around in the hay again? But she had to be the non-caring one. She could not like him because for some reason when you're dating people, you can't like them. That's just the rule of dating. You are not allowed to like people when you date them. And if she showed that she liked him, in her head she would have lost. So she could not have asked for more Peter.
All the comments just show absolute shock, especially since people feel like Danisha portrays herself as this perfect human being that presents this logical, smart image. There is a whole Reddit thread about her where people feel like she has a superiority complex with the content she posts. But as far as the claims being made about Danisha, a lot of people have just been like, first of all, why would you pick a guy like him? I will say a lot of people in the comments were pointing out how they thought that Khalil was gay, but other people from Khalil's videos were just saying that this was so embarrassing for Danisha and that it's just giving desperate, especially since she's not addressing any of it. It kind of just makes it seem like all of this is true.
As a previous womblander, Danisha, stand up. Come to the front. Now listen, you don't have to answer anything about them text messages when it comes to, you know, what that man did, what y'all was planning to do, and what happened in the bedroom. But what I do need you to answer to is that pregnancy thing. Now you can move on for everything else. The narrative's gonna get spun regardless. I know one thing about narratives being spun. I didn't even sleep with the guy, and that narrative was spun. But as a mom to a boy, I need you to come forward. I need you to answer about that pregnancy thing because that was too far, sis.
This person said, as an ugly person, it's nice knowing pretty people get desperate too. This is so embarrassing. You're right. She should have just asked for seconds. That's far less embarrassing than this. So many people have opinions about this online, and let's just say they're pretty disgusted with the allegations coming out about Danisha and saying that her silence is deafening, that it isn't helping at all because the MO is usually believe the victim unless proven otherwise. As I mentioned, people are on Danisha's ass about this, literally flooding her comments on her latest videos and on Instagram. She hasn't posted in 2 days since recording this video, but there's a bunch of people criticizing her online, all over TikTok. Most of the comments and TikToks responding to the situation pretty much prove how public opinion typically leans towards standing with the alleged victim first. And we're seeing that clear as day. But we'll have to see if Danisha ends up addressing any of this. Do you guys think she's gonna address any of this? And also, what do you think about the claims being made against her? Let me know what you guys think though. I love you guys so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.